A very good afternoon to one and all. How are you students? Ready to attend your class back? Saturday we had no class because of some technical issues, but today we'll continue the part of the story that we left incomplete on Friday. Let's revise, let's take a small recap of the previous discussion. The story of a gift of Chappals was leading towards the beggar's condition, and we had seen how the beggar was feeling pitiful and helpless when he was asked to go away from Ravi's house and to find another house. He was full of emotions, his throat choked, he was unable to speak anything, and then he tried his best to call the ladies again for helping him, but the rude response of Rukumani made him very upset. Then the children saw the blisters or sores on the beggar's feet, and they were forced to think that how difficult it was for the beggar to walk on that hot sunny noon on the road, those tar roads, those cement concrete roads we can say. So the children were very kind, very emotional and very noble we can say, so they could not bear the condition, they could not feel good that she had tears in her eyes and she was thinking about the condition of the beggar. Suddenly Ravi found thinking something, asked Meena to be quiet and let him concentrate on his work, and he took some decision and suddenly asked both of the girls to follow him, and he went inside the house. And there he noticed the sleepers which were noticed by Mridu in the morning when she came there to her aunt's house, and suddenly Ravi took a glance of those sleepers and he was confirmed that the sleepers of the exact size that can fit to beggar, and he took those sleepers and went towards the beggar. So that much we had discussed in the previous class. Today we will see what happened in the story next. So here we are on the paragraph which starts like, "Here," said Ravi to the beggar, dropping the sleepers in front of the old man. "Wear these and don't come back." The beggar stared at the sleepers, hurriedly flung his towel over his shoulder, pushed his feet into them and left, muttering a blessing to the children. In a minute, he had vanished around the corner of the street. So Ravi went to the beggar and he put those sleepers on the ground in front of beggar and asked him, "Now have it and leave the place as soon as possible. Move from here." The beggar, when he saw the sleepers, he was little surprised. He stared, he looked at the sleepers very carefully. Suddenly he had thought something, he thought in his mind, and he wore the sleepers and he flung, means he took the towel and put it on the shoulder in a hurry and left the place. He was muttering, he was saying something which was not clearly audible, but it was quite clear that he was giving the blessings to the children for helping him by giving the sleepers. So here the kind act of the children touched the beggar's heart and encouraged him to say some good prayers, some good wishes for the children. And then he left the place and he rushed towards that road and vanished, means disappeared around the corner of the street. There was a turn little away from the house, he took that turn and he went away, he disappeared. He became invisible. Disappeared means he was not appearing or he was not visible afterwards. So one thought comes in mind, that why did he rush in a hurry? Why did earlier he wanted to take some rest there, and okay, we know that he had no sleepers to walk and he got sleepers then, but one more reason we can guess here, that the sleepers, it was quite obvious when the ladies of the house were asking him again and again to leave the place. Rukumani and even Ravi's party was asking the beggar rudely to leave the place and find another house. He should not expect anything from the house anymore. And then the sleepers were given to the beggar. So it was quite sure for the beggar that the sleepers were brought by the children without taking permission. The sleepers were given to him were actually not in bad condition, they were in a good condition. It means someone was using them also, they were in use. Still they were given to beggar, means the children had done it themselves. They didn't take any consent from the elders, and that was the beggar might be a little doubtful that if the sleepers were not given to him with the permission, any time if he would be seen or if the sleepers could be seen by the parents or the elders of the family, they would refuse to have the sleepers to the beggar. And that is why the beggar in a hurry, in haste, took those sleepers, worn them and left the place in a hurry and become disappeared. So here we come to know the beggars nature also somewhat. Now next we come to know the music master came out of the house and took an unappreciative look at the three of them sitting quietly under the tree playing marbles. Unappreciative means disapproving. Disapproving stands for he was not happy to see the children there, as if he felt that children were not sincere or something, like don't know what was the reason, but it was not mentioned in the chapter. Still the music master was not at all happy to see those three children sitting there. Might be he was thinking Lalli was trying to learn something new skill and they three were sitting and wasting their time freely, that's why. But when music master, after completing his class, that violin class of Lalli, came out of the room, he looked towards three of these children, Lalli, Meena, Mridu and Ravi, sitting in the garden and they were playing with the marbles, and the teacher didn't like to see them, three of them. Then he searched for his chappals in the veranda where he had put them. So the music teacher who came out, he started searching his sleepers there. As he had to go back to home, he had to wear his slippers and he had to go. But he was searching, it means he didn't get his slippers on the place where he removed in the morning when he came there for the class. So it is very clear to us the slippers given to the beggar were the slippers of the master actually. And they were, the description of the slipper was quite suiting to the master's personality also. The toes or the that feet printed on that dusty slippers were actually matching with the music teacher's personality. So that was also quite sure earlier only that the slippers belonged to the music master. And that's why when the slippers were given to the beggar, so it was quite obvious that he would not get the slippers on the place. He had no idea, having no idea, he started searching his slippers. But he didn't find it there wherever he kept in the beginning. Lalli, he called after a few moments. She hurried up to him. Have you seen my chappals, my dear? I remember having kept them here. Now see the music master. For these three children, he was not giving a good look. He was giving a disapproval. The look having no admiration, no kindness, nothing. And Lalli, as she was his student, he was talking to her very politely. When for some time master tried his best to search his slippers on the place where he kept in the morning or nearby place where it could be shifted, possibility was there. But the master didn't get his copy, so later on he called his student Lalli and he asked Lalli about his slippers, whether she knew something about it or she kept them somewhere else. So Lalli was called by the master here. Now let's see what happens next in this story. Ravi, Mridu and Meena silently watched Lalli and music master search every corner of the veranda. So three of the children sitting silently, and they knew where the slipper was actually, but keeping mum, saying nothing so that they would not be scolded. They were just watching and we can say enjoying the sight, or might be trying to keep maintain the silence keeping unrevealed their secret of the music teacher and Lalli, finding and doing lots of efforts to get the slippers back or to find the slippers wherever they were kept. Till here we have discussed. Now let's see how many of you have joined the class, and if you have any doubt, any problem, so you must let it know. Okay. Is there anyone taking the chance to discuss that doubts? Okay, wait a minute. So is there any doubt? Okay, no doubt is again flashing on the screen. So we'll continue the story. Let's see what is here now. He scurried around looking over the railing and crouching near the flower pots to look between them. So the master was trying best. The master was trying to search. He was searching everywhere, finding everywhere, looking everywhere. The slippers could be possibly to find it wherever it is possible. So he checked everywhere, scurried around where whatever the places were there nearby him. He searched there. Looking over the railing, the stairs were there on the railing if it is kept, or crouching near the flower pots means going and taking the deep look there and finding where they are hidden behind somewhere between the flower pots or something, or someone threw them there or whatever. He did his all possible efforts to find his slippers back, but he didn't find them. So he started saying something. When he was searching his slippers, the same time he was saying a lot of things. He was trying to talk to Lalli and making her understand how the slippers were and what about the slippers. He told them they were brand new they were. I went all the way to Mount Road to buy them. He went on saying, they cost a whole month's fees, do you know? Soon Lalli went into to tell her mother. Rukkumani appeared looking harassed with party following her. So master was telling Lalli that the slippers which he was searching, he belonged were not old one, they were very costly and they were new one. Before few days only he had purchased them, and to purchase that quality of slippers he had to travel a long marketplace, which was time consuming and tiring, and at the same time they were very costly as he had to pay his full month fees of her class for the slippers. So it was showing the irritation of the master and at the same time his worries about his slippers, that how could the slippers be misplaced when he knew very well, he remembers very well they were kept on the specific place where he was searching earlier in the beginning. And the way he was describing his slipper, the way he was getting panic and worried about his slippers, Lalli felt helpless. She had no option. She tried her best to search the slipper. Panic and worried about this new happening she has to deal with, and just behind her, her mother-in-law we can say, or Ravi's grandmother was following her. So these two ladies came out of home searching for the slippers. Where could they be? It's really quite upsetting to think someone might have stolen them. So many vendors came to the door, worried party. Now grandmother of Ravi was sharing her doubts. She thought that this just in front of the house there is a main road, so many vendors, the hawkers come full day selling different things, and we all were inside the house. Might possible the slippers were stolen by someone, and it is actually embarrassing for them that the slippers got stolen from their house. So the party was not happy to say these words, but it shows that she was worried, she was confirmed that the slippers would not go anywhere if they were kept at the home only, except if they were stolen by someone. And she had a doubt on the strangers, the wanderers, those who were coming on the road for selling different things at that quiet hours of the day, when due to sunlight, due to hot summer, the people were not found outside. So according to party, if the slippers were not available or not found anywhere in the veranda or in the that porch in front of their house, surely the slippers were stolen by someone. Where could they be? So we have already discussed this sentence. Rukmani caught sight of Ravi, Mridu and Meena sitting under the tree. So she caught sight of means she found 3 of these children sitting under the tree in the garden. Have you children? She began, and then seeing they were curiously quiet, went more slowly. Seen anyone lurking around the veranda? So here, when Rukmani was worried and she also tried to search the slippers, suddenly she found his 3 children were sitting there, and she was about to ask the children, have they seen anyone here? Suddenly she could read the expressions on the children's face. They were curiously quiet, means surprisingly silent. As much as Ravi's mother knew her children and her niece, she might know very well these children were not the type of sitting so quiet if something is happening. In other usual times, the children might be rushing here and there and trying to search the slippers, or if they had in doubt, they could tell from their own side. But they were sitting quiet. That means something wrong was done by the children only. She had that doubt, and as soon as Rukmani had that clue in her mind, or she had that thought in her mind that might be the same, these 3 were the one who were responsible of misplacing of slipper, she suddenly lower down her voice. She suddenly get her voice get lower, and she asked the children, have they seen anyone lurking around the veranda, looking or just wandering unwantedly near the veranda, around the veranda? Means, have the children seen any stranger or any hawker or any of the vendor moving around their house in finding an opportunity to steal the slippers from the veranda? A sharp V-shaped line had formed between her eyebrows. Another straight, tighter one appeared in place of her usually soft, pleasant mouth. So these expression, we can imagine the lady here, Rukmani, when she was there, suddenly her face, 2 lines occurred here. It means she was little angry. Her expression of her face changed. She became upset with the behavior of the children. She was so confirmed that that her son, especially Ravi, might did something wrong with the slippers, and to let the children accept it, or to confirm her doubt one more time, she changed her expressions. She was so angry, and she looked at the children. Usually she is very soft, very polite, very humble, as we have seen the way she greeted and welcomed Ridu and her grandma. But this time, seeing the problem created by her children for the music master, she was angry. Thought Mridu was a shiver. As soon as Mridu thought of the anger her aunt had, Mridu knew it very well that her aunt was rarely getting this much angry, and if she was angry that time, it means that something horrible was going to happen. The children would have to face something horrible, and thinking that, she started shivering, she started scaring. She wouldn't be so upset if she knew about the poor beggar with sores on his feet, she tried to tell herself. So now Mridu was trying to console herself, was trying to convince herself that everything would be okay, nothing will be wrong. Though her aunt was ready at that time, but later on when she would come to know the real reason of gifting the slippers to the beggar, she would not be that much angry. If the aunt would come to know that how the beggar was, how poor he was, what a panic condition he had, how many blisters he had on his feet, and those sore feet, it was quite impossible for him to walk on that hot road in sunny noon time. So she would not be angry. So Mridu was knowing her aunt very well. She knew that the lady was very kind. She would not be angry if she would come to know the real reason of gifting the slippers. So here now this part is over. The feelings of children, feelings of Rukumani, why was she angry, everything is clear. So do you have any doubt here? Any query, any problem, any question? Okay. Then we'll continue the story, and later on if at the end of the story you find any problem, we'll discuss. Now, taking a deep breath, she cried, Rukumani, there was a beggar here. Poor thing, he had such boils on his feet. So Rukumani, she is trying to address her aunt, and she said that there was a poor beggar and he has blisters on his feet, and you know what happened, and like this. Here Mridu tried to accept the mistakes they did by giving the reason first. Mridu wanted to make her aunt clear why they did the mistake or why they gifted those slippers to the beggar by giving first the description of the beggar. So she said Rukumani grimly, turning to Ravi, she said very firmly, angrily, rudely to him, you gave the music master slippers, chappals to that beggar who turns up here. So Ravi, you are the one who gave the slippers of master to the beggar. Is it you who did this? She asked the question to Ravi now. She was so confirmed about children these days, grown patty. These are the expressions of, we can say, irritation and disappointment. So the grandmother was so disappointed on the children's behavior. She was so angry. She said, oh my God, the children nowadays are so naughty and so troublesome. This expression makes us clear that grandmother thought it is too difficult to handle the children nowadays. They do not have any concern about anyone. They don't understand anything, and whatever they want, they can do without asking anyone. Even they do not wait for the elders' permission. So this type of irritation was reflecting from the Patty's remarks about their behavior, about children's behavior. Amma, didn't you tell me about Karna who gave away everything he had, even his gold earrings? He was so kind and generous. So now what happened here? When grandmother was objecting the way children used the slippers of master, that they donated, they gifted the slippers to the beggar, suddenly Ravi recalled his grandmother, that grandmother, do you remember you told me one story of Karna from Mahabharata? He was known as for his charity, who is famous for his charity and donation and all. You told me that once he even gifted his gold earrings. So he could donate gold earrings, and I cannot gift a simple slipper here. So Karna, Ravi was trying to console, Ravi was trying to justify his action of gifting the slippers by giving the example of Karna, that as Karna was kind and big hearted, he was the same. As the teaching of the good deeds, teaching of the donation and helping others was given by the parents themselves, how could they object on Ravi's this act? That was one question we can say raised by Ravi here. So directly Ravi says that you only taught me to give the needful people, to help the needful people. So I did. Now why are you objecting? So as soon as Ravi expressed these feelings, snapped Rukumani. She suddenly said, silly, Karna didn't give away other people's things. He only gave away his own. So Rukumani said, oh, Karna, you are remembering now. But Karna did used to give the things of others. He was only donating his own or giving charity of his own things, in his own belongings. He never touched the other things. That you don't remember, Ravi. So this type of feeling was there. Ravi was objected by Rukumani, saying that if you would like to gift someone something, if you would like to donate or give charity to someone something, the thing should be your belonging. You should donate from your own possessions. Now, why are you using the other things to donate? How could you donate master's slipper to the beggar? So this was not expected from Ravi, might be, or the other three children. They never expected that the kindness they were showing towards the beggar would raise such question in front of them. So, but my chappals wouldn't have fitted the beggar feet. Ravi rushed brashly on, and Amma, if they did fit, would you really have not have minded it? So Ravi said, oh Amma, you are saying why did I give teacher's slippers, not mine, but how can my slippers fit to him? I am so small, my feet are so small, the master is big and the beggar was big, so I have given master slippers. And suppose if you are saying me that I should donate my things, not others, so if instead of master's chappals I could have given mine one, then you would not be angry. A very innocent question was raised by Ravi in front of his mother. He simply asked, that means only problem is that I have gifted master slippers, not mine. If they could be mine, then there would be no problem. No, there would be no issue of the slippers. So that was a very simple question raised by Ravi here. Ravi said Rukumani very angry now. Go inside this minute. Now she was so irritated with Ravi's question. No, she said, Ravi, now move inside. No need to say anything. When the elders are unable to answer the children's question, no, it happens. Rukumani knew the question raised by Ravi was actually right. She knew that the kindness shown by the children was somewhere the part of their teaching only. But obviously the problem was created because they dared to give the slippers of master and they had to face that problem. Now they were answerable towards the master. And seeing her children only guilty, she could not even support them. And we can understand it was quite embarrassing for her also, little awkward also in front of the master to find that her children were guilty and they gifted the master's slippers to someone else. Then what could she do? So she found only one solution. It is better to send the children inside and later on she would tackle the children and their doubts. But at present she should focus on the problem of master's slipper and how could she manage that one. So in this way, Rukumani sent Ravi from that place inside the house, and now she was about to solve the problem of master slippers. So let's see how did she solve it. She hurried indoors and brought out Gopu Mama's hardly worn new chappals. Now she had no option, she had to give something else to master so that he would wear and he would go back to home. So she went inside. She knew that Gopu Mama's slippers were kept at home, hardly worn, rarely he was wearing there, they were new in condition. So, and the Gopu Mama's chappals were about to fit the schoolmaster. So she went inside and she brought those chappals. This should fit you, sir, please put this on. I am so sorry, my son has been very naughty. Then she apologized in front of master. She said sorry to master for her son's mistake, and then she offered those slippers to her master and she said that these slippers would be comfortable for him. He could have them and he could excuse the children for their this naughty behavior, that unthoughtful behavior. The music master's eyes lit up. The music master was very happy. His eyes started shining with the happiness that he was getting a new pair of slippers. They were hardly worn. In place of his those slippers, those who look little dirty in the dust. So obviously he was happy, but still he put them on trying not to look happy. But he didn't want to express his joy of getting the new pair of slippers. He didn't want to let the people realize that he forgave the children because he was getting the new slippers. He might possibly wanted the family to realize that guilt and mistake on the children's behavior. So he didn't express his joy of getting the slippers, and then he said, well, I suppose these will have to do. These days children have no respect for elders. What to do? A Hanuman incarnate Only Rama can save such a naughty fellow. So the master only said, oh, you are right, no, the children nowadays what to do, and I don't want, but okay, now we have no option, I have to take the slippers, and just to make you free, otherwise I don't want the slippers, I just wanted mine one, but now your child did the mistake, so okay, I will try to manage with the slippers which you have given me. Like this the expressions were given, and he said, oh my God, the children nowadays, this boy is like a Hanuman carnate, he is like a little Hanumana, very naughty boy. As you know the story of Lord Hanumana, when he was a small child, he was very notorious, always being the problem for the rishis and sadhus in the jungle. He was going and mischieving there. Sometimes he was taking up their clothes and hiding somewhere if they had to go to bath on the river and all. He was hiding their food, or like this type of so many notorious things Hanumana used to do. And that's why this Ravi was compared with that Hanumana, the monkey god we can say. So here directly indirectly that music master called Ravi the monkey, that he is such a notorious like a monkey and it's difficult to handle him. Rukumani's eyes flashed. Now she became little sincere. She got little we can say the expressions of disapproving of the comment given by the teacher. She didn't seem to like Ravi's being called a monkey, even a holy monkey. So obviously she was a mother, and how could she allow any of the stranger to call her child, her beloved son, monkey, though he gave the name of the god monkey, but still. So the comment passed by the music master calling Ravi the Hanumana or the monkey was not at all liked by Rukumani. She was not ready to have that comment positively. So she stood stiff and straight by the front door. She was so angry on the master's comment, she just went and stand near the door, and very firm she was in her expressions, that made the master very clear that she didn't like the comment, and it was clear she wanted him to leave quickly. So it was like master understood that if he would not leave the place, the mother would be angry and she would say, will you leave the place now? So he was scared that might possible he would have to experience Rukumani's anger on him. So it was better for him to leave the place. So seeing the condition, judging the Rukumani's mood, the music master decided to leave the place, and it was quite good for him also, because his problem was already solved by giving Gopu Mama slippers. So he left the place. After that, when he had clattered off his new chappals, she said, Mridu, came in and have some tiffin. So then music master went moving in his slippers, making some clattering sound from his slippers. When someone wears the big slipper than usual size, while walking they make some type of sound, that is called a clattering sound. So the music master went with those slippers there from there. Then Rukumani told Mridu to come inside and have the food. How do you children think of such things? She said, I don't know from where these notorious ideas you children get nowadays. Even you do not think twice before doing or enacting this type of things. Thank God your Gopu Mama doesn't wear his chappals to work. As she walked towards the kitchen with Mridu and Meena, she suddenly began to laugh. But he is always in such a hurry to throw off his shoes and socks and get into his chappals as soon as he comes home. What's your mama going to say this evening when I tell him I gave his slippers to or chappals to the music teacher? So Rukumani told Mridu and Meena that it was good. I don't know how you people are behaving nowadays. You children are really troublesome. You do not even think about others. And it's good that your mama's slippers were at home and I could give them to him, because he never used the slippers on the working place. He goes in shoes. So she was seeing that they were fortunate enough to have the pair of slippers at home of that Gopu Mama, so that she could easily solve the problem. But as soon as she remembers that Gopu Mama had a habit of throwing his shoes as soon as he entered the home, and he needs his slipper to wear. He wants to make him comfortable wearing his slippers after removing the shoes. She suddenly realized that she would have to face the problem when the mama would return in the evening, and then she would need to tell him the whole story and thinking about his reaction, because somewhat she did the same thing what Ravi had done. Ravi had given master slipper, Kumani had given mama slippers to the master. So somewhat she behaved the same, notorious for the mama also. So she had a laughter, she loved thinking of Gopu Mama's reaction after finding his slippers missing there. And in this way, having a slight fun and a twist in the story, the chapter ends here. Now, after the discussion, if you have any doubt, any problem, let me know, so that here only we can clear your queries. Later on, when we will move towards the back exercise, we will surely get the revision also, but then it will be little difficult to go back to the theory and bring the whole concept back. So let me see if you have any doubt. Okay, no doubts are still coming here. So we'll take a break from today's class here with the explanation part completed. Next class we'll go with the back exercise and the topics to be discussed in the chapter. So read this chapter thoroughly at once, at home once, and then underline the problems or words you don't understand. If there is any query, anything that is not clear to you, let me know in the beginning of tomorrow's class, and then we'll move for the back exercises. So get ready with your pen paper to note down the clues given for the answers and the theory we'll discuss here. So till tomorrow, enjoy your studies. Thank you. Have a nice day.